Hello everybody. Figured that I would put a quick video together this morning of some general updates. I've got some bigger things going on in the fish room, continuing to recover from being out. My last video goes into probably more detail than is needed on that, but really, I wanted to show how the tanks are coming along since being, sort of neglected. And then also a little bit of what goes into, for me anyway, maintaining my small, modest fish room, depending on who you talk to. There's certainly some people who feel like I have a problem. Oh, let me see if I can get this dwarf. Oh. I love the dwarf chains, but they're very shy in this aquarium. There he is. A lot of times we can see more, except the glare gets worse. They like to hang out back in here. I think I've made a little too good of a hiding place for them. See if I can get rid of the glare. Oh, you can see the group of them back there. They're doing well for me. So, this is one of the last tanks that I'm having to catch up on. I thought I had this fish sorted out. He's been in a hospital tank. I did a dip on him, a salt dip, but it just didn't. It looks like a swim bladder thing to me. I don't know, let me know if anybody disagrees with that. And I put him in with some salt, and he had gotten better and was eating. So I was like, great, I'll put him back in, and you can see he's still just struggling. These reservoirs are getting a little on the old side, so it's a little bit to be expected, and part of the challenge of having any fish tank, but especially multiple tanks, is, the fish get old, and just like with anything, you're left with basically just judging quality of life, So, I just saw that fish and got distracted. Sorry, I'll have to address that. This tank, I went ahead and did some, duckweed is a problem in this tank. I have it, yes. So that was most of yesterday, but I still need to do a lot of scaping with the valve and just kind of stuff around here. So I won't say I'm good at scaping or anything, but I have some success growing plants, like a lot of people. And so I want to be able to just show you, this is what it looks like after being neglected. And then today my plan is to get in here and get this under control. And I use kind of like a farming method like a lot of people do. So a lot of these plants that I'm taking out of this will not go to waste. They are gonna be going over to the 75 gallon over here. Let me pause and get the glare under control. So speaking of neglect, you can see that in the big fish aquarium, this is what the plants look like when I haven't been down here to basically always be, not always, but consistently be replacing the plants. In this tank, I have a lot of, I'll say, feisty fish with plants anyway. I don't think the loaches really do that much to them as far as I can tell. I think these yo-yos are pretty plant friendly. But yeah, you're seeing one right there. These Buenos Aires tetras are literal weed whackers. So it's not a problem because the valve grows kind of crazy and I need something to, somewhere to put it anyway. But when these fish and this tank was out of commission while this room was being repaired. The plants weren't being replenished. In fact, these fish had to be moved into a pond liner for about, yeah, longer than I wanted. And one of the, I mean, it must have been probably a week at least. And one of my catfish in there actually, I don't know if they were fighting or if he ran into something in the tub, but he had a pretty awful wound on his back. And so I, you know, when I moved them back in, I wasn't too sure how he was gonna do. But he's actually recovered wonderfully. They're pretty tough if you give them a clean environment, and getting back into the aquarium makes a big difference. So this is the other tank that I'm gonna be doing work on today. And so again, just wanted to show a quick before and after so you can kind of see what it looks like and how it goes. These are a new addition to the fish room and some growing out rainbow fry that I've had for a while, but these ones up top are called green fire tetras, and they've really been coloring in nicely. One thing I will tell you is they are little shrimp terminators. I had some orange Neocaridina shrimp in here, and they cleared them out. So a little bit on that. I have two left, a male and a female. So hopefully I'll be able to recover my orange Neocaridina population from that. I was pretty bummed. But these fish I do love. They're kind of like I don't know, like a different variety of, sort of like a neon tetra. They got a lot of personality, and I love that the males seem to get these white tips on their fins as well. You can kind of see, especially when the lights just kind of came on a few minutes before I started filming. So that doesn't help, but yeah, they're a cool fish, green fire tetra. But not shrimp safe in my particular experience with them. So this is the before. I'll pause it here. I'm gonna get to work, and then afterwards I'll just be able to show you an update. So for any of those that watched my video where I was doing outdoor ponds, yeah, these are the ugly ponds that they turned into. And certainly these are what they look like after I've moved the fish out of them. So in this one I had some Neocaridina and rainbow fish fry, and over here is where I was growing out a different color of neos and mountain cloud minnows. And then in here, hang on one sec, let me get this lid off. This is the last pond that I have up and running right now, and I know the view is not going to be fantastic, but if you look very carefully in here, you'll see not only the shrimp, but I also have some mountain cloud minnows in there, and they've been doing really well, but it's that time of year where I need to move them back inside, and then I've just got a whole boatload of guppy grass that, you know, we'll see what I can do with. So this, you know, for anyone curious, is just how ugly and low-tech you can make it. I'm gonna get to work tearing down this side, and then that'll be part of a temporary stand I'm building for a 40-gallon breeder inside. And then this black tub will be the last one running for another week, and then by next weekend we'll have to take that one out and move it back in. We'll be done for the winter. I'll show you all of the sort of fish and shrimp that we harvested from these in this video, just in the next edit. The difference of raising shrimp, especially outside, was amazing. So got probably in this very low effort setup, I probably got 50 fish fry and hundreds of shrimp. So just doing a quick whip around so you can see these would be a mix of a couple of guppy lines that I'm working on, males only, and some of the fry from the outside ponds. Sorry, the cat wants some attention here. So these would be some of the rainbow fry from the outdoor ponds that I moved in. Pufferfish want to say hello. There. Their tank is one that I'm still catching up on as far as maintenance, and another issue you can see here from just catching up on things, that's a big fat planaria, and this is the one tank that I have them in that I know of, so I need to treat that. That's been on my list of things to do. Over here is the mountain cloud minnows. As you can see, I have a couple different generations I'm working on right now, and all of the blue shrimp that I was breeding outside. Really happy with how they turned out. They have nice consistency, nice color. A couple ones that are darker than others, but and I would say 15 or so, maybe 20 of the mountain cloud minnows. Longfin variety. The adults are still outside. Last bit of breaking down things this weekend, and then those ones will be moved in for the winter. Apart from that, did some cleanup in this tank so you can see the difference. Let's see if I can get in the way of the glare here. So cleaned up some of the plants, and you'll see where I put them in a minute here. See some of the dwarf chain loaches maybe. I don't scare them away with the camera. Yeah, they're super shy. Oh, there they go. And then up here, I realized I had mentioned that I wasn't sure if I lost my orange line of shrimp. Well, you can see this is a mixed tank, kind of winging it. You can see scuds, you can see isopods, and you can see little baby orange shrimps. Quite a few of them, actually. See if I can zoom in on any of them. Right there. And a lot of them on the filter. So I've just been super happy with this because, you know, I think this gives me a good chance of continuing the line. And I've been really excited because this is the mom. The dad died a couple days after moving them, rescuing them from their tank. And I thought she had dumped her eggs, but it turns out she had hatched them. So they're hanging out with the, they're hanging out with my little scavenger crew right now, growing out. And then I'm gonna move as many as I can to their own little 10-gallon. Here is an example of, again, some of the consequences of just not being able to access the fish room like normal with all of the stuff going on with renovations at this point. This guy, and it's kind of hard to get a good view of him, is one of my older mollies. It's actually a lady, and I don't know, she's got not looking that great, as you can tell. So I moved her into this temporary sick tank to get her some salt, some fresh water, and just some relaxation to see what she can do. And then down here from the 75, I also had one of my Buenos Aires tetras start to show some sort of white fuzz on the finnage and things like that. So now I've got them in a little bit of a sick holding tank so I can medicate. I'm starting with just some salt. Again, I like to keep it simple, but depending on how they respond to that, I might have to try something further, antibiotics, something along those lines. So just goes to show that while I'm catching up, there's definitely some long-term consequences that tend to happen in terms of fallout. So these are where some of the plants that I took out of my smaller tanks ended up. and I've just kind of added them to the 75 gallon for now. So it's probably a better view. It usually is on camera from this angle. And I'll continue to add plants to it over the next few weeks. I'm catching up on things. Everyone else in here is in good shape, but I definitely had that one tetra that was struggling. Let's see if I can get it to focus on anything. There we go. They think they're gonna get fed, so they're all gonna crowd the camera. Yeah. Anyway, I'll keep this, short, and that's kind of just the few updates on the fish room, catching up on a few things, and hopefully gonna have some good results on some sick fish. Have a good one.